Wednesday afternoon. Hello, Nasties. Hello, EST listeners. How you doing? Today, it's game day. Edmonton Oilers, Minnesota Wild. Thursday night football. My 49ers trying to stay alive in their slim playoff hopes, Gager. They take on the LA Rams. It's going to be a fun show today. We're going to break it all down, of course. Joaquin Gage, Hernan Salas, our lovely producer, Kub Nation, in the house today. Fun show coming up at 1:20. Jose Sanchez, deputy editor covering the 49ers for Sports Illustrated, will join us at 1:20. At 1:40, it's the Red Light District with Joaquin Gage. Looking forward to that, of course. And at 2:20, Preston Hodgkinson, Oilers reporter for the Daily Hive, will get us set for Wild Oilers tonight. Like always, hit us up on the Nasty Chatter text 780-218-9999. Hammer that thumbs up. If you haven't subscribed, you can hit the subscribe button as well. Gets more eyes on the station. Really helps with the algorithms and all that fun stuff. If you like to listen to us, iHeart or the TuneIn radio apps. You can also go to EdmontonSportsTalk.com and hit listen live or watch us on the EST YouTube channel. Gager, my man, how was Two Guys with Matthew Wannick?
It was, it's funny because, I just kind of sit here and gab away. But
yeah.
The hosting prowess of Matt Wannick, for a guy that doesn't do it that much, he sure is good at it.
He is.
And you are too, buddy. Don't get me wrong. You're good too. But,
I'm no Matthew Wannick.
And then Dusty, you all have a different style. And I like them all. And hopefully you out there like them as well.
Coming to you live from the William Huff Studios here in the west end of the city. And our fearless leader, once again, a little under the weather, Gager. He's not learning his lesson, is he, the big guy? No.
When I heard him this morning, and I was, it's coming, and I go, God, I looked at my speaker. I go, what's wrong with my speaker? Like, why does it sound like crap? And then Eric comes on. I thought it was, it's better. And then I realized that Dusty sounded like Marge Simpson there. And this is all after we discussed this, you and I. We had a regimen for him. And then it said, well, what time do you go to sleep? He goes, well, midnight. I go, midnight? You know what? The last time I saw midnight, I rarely see it. The only time I do see it is if my dog jumps up on the bed and wakes me, and I look up and it's like midnight. Because I've been asleep for probably 2.5 hours.
Wow. No, I'm a night owl, too. I need to start going to bed a little bit earlier. But I'm not up at 4 a.m. like Dusty, right? So he's got it's more tea, more vegetables in his life, a little bit of a workout, right, Gager?
Yeah.
Eat more things that are good for your body, and then because this is...
you know what, too? And this was on... You'll remember this. This is back in the day. Remember when Cass was talking about blue light with your devices and things before sleep? And trust me, I'm bad for it, too. I try to, read something and just, like they say... 2 hours before you go to bed, you shouldn't be looking at devices and things, especially on your phone. It's real. It stimulates you, and it's harder to fall asleep. Trust me, reading's it's like a skill too. You have to kind of build up to it, because I read a page and that I wake up with that thing on my face for some reason. But you read a little bit, it just puts your mind in a different kind of zone, and it's much easier to fall asleep.
I just finished my last book yesterday, and I got the Will Buxton Grand Prix book.
Oh, did you?
I got it on my my device, on my Kobo.
Yeah.
Gonna start that puppy tonight, so it'll be fun. But yeah, the big guy's gotta learn from the 1 month illness he had, which knocked him out.
Yeah, you should. You can't. I got a little under the weather pretty quickly after I was sick there for a bit, but I wasn't out for a month.
No. But hopefully Dusty's good to go, because tomorrow's a big day for EST, and we'll just keep that under wraps.
He's got to have a Mexican hot dog, I think.
The Edmonton Oilers hit the road to face the Minnesota Wild tonight. The Oilers are on a 3-game win streak, going for their first 4-win game streak of the season. In other news, the Oilers placed defenseman Travis Dermott on waivers. Looks like Alec Regula is going to get some minutes here, Gager, eventually. So I'm intrigued to see this guy. I don't know much about him, but we'll probably see him in the next maybe 2 or 3 games. Slide in there for probably Stetcher. Calvin Pickard gets a start tonight. He's 6-3, 2.56 goals against, .892 save percentage, and they're going to have a tough one, the Oilers, because Philip Gustafsson is top 2 goaltender in the league right now, 14-4-3, 2.08 goals against, 927 save percentage. Gager, last win in Minnesota. Do you want to take a gander?
2019.
Okay. It was February 7th, 2019. The Oilers won 4-1. You want to know who's? Give me someone who you think scored in that game.
Connor McDavid. Really?
Yeah.
I don't know. Letestu?
Nope. 2 are still on the
Darnell
team.
Nurse.
Yes.
Was it his first goal?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Darnell Nurse.
Slap shot. Just came over the blue line. Terrible goal. But
I remember that. Yeah.
It was awful. Yeah. Okay.
Leon Draisaitl.
Yeah.
Dusty's daughter's favorite Oiler.
Oh, Cassian.
Cassian. And then this guy was projected to be the next coming of a star on McDavid's wing. He had about a good 14-game stretch. Never made it. Played at the factory.
Played at the factory? Which one of my factories?
No, a little bit after you. Way after you.
Oh, jeez.
Aiden O'Neill has it on the nasty chat. Ty Ratty.
Right. Jeez.
And the winning goaltender was Cam Talbot.
Okay.
I'm also going to give you a little bit more information.
Okay.
They've lost 6 in a row to Minnesota. In their last 13 games, Gager, the Oilers have won 2. What is it about this team? Because the previous couple of years, Oilers have been way better than Minnesota.
Well, they say Minnesota's the Edmonton of the U.S., right? And maybe there's that brotherly city love that they're giving it. 2 biggest malls in the world. I don't know what it is. I really don't.
That's a good trivia for the mall thing. Yeah, I forgot about that. Yeah.
So, it's, and I think it was, YouTube Trev that said this morning, and I kind of have to agree with him. There's just something in the water. The Edmonton Oilers are dominant against the Nashville Predators for years, and there's just something about it. The same thing you could say about the Minnesota Wild and the Edmonton Oilers right now. They play them well. You can see it because, we talk about these players and how good they are. And granted, you don't watch the Minnesota Wild a lot unless, it's a Hockey Night in Canada game, maybe. Mm-hmm. And but there are some very capable players over there. But they just seem to raise their level of game because then when I watch them in another game, you don't notice them as much too, right? So it's just it's a feeling, and every player has it. I had teams that I felt better to play against than other teams. So yeah,
it's just weird the what is it, the clench they have on the Oilers, because like I said, the previous years Minnesota wasn't as good as they are this year, and they still would beat the Oilers. I remember last year we watched the game at BP's because the guys were on location, and they were terrible.
Yeah.
They were absolutely terrible. Lineups for the Edmonton Oilers, it all remains the same from their last few games, so no changes there outside of Calvin Pickard getting the start. For the Minnesota Wild, it's going to be Kaprizov with Rossi and Boldy, Foligno with Hartman and Johansson, Lauko with Gaudreau and Trennan, Shore with Jones and this is that tough name again. Zach, you want to help out with this one? Who's Nadinov? Is that right? No. I'll go get the pronouncer guide.
I'll grab it.
And Jones defensively, Middleton with Faber, Chisholm with Spurgeon, Merrill with Bogosian, and like I mentioned, Mr. Philip Gustafsson, who's been outstanding this year, gets a start. The Oilers lost the first game of the season by a score of 5-3. That was a pretty riled up post-game show as well because people were pretty upset. The Oilers did not play well in that game. Draisaitl, Perry, and Skinner did get the goals, and this will be the second of 3 tilts between the Oilers and Wild. You know what's interesting? Actually, I'm going to ask you this first.
Okay.
Should Stuart Skinner got this start?
I think so.
Okay. I like that.
I really think so. He's rolling right now with a lot of confidence. Going up against, some of the best goalies in the league. I like those matchups. To me, it's the same as if Connor McDavid's going up against, Sidney Crosby or Austin Matthews. There's those same types of game within a game. And I think when you look back at it or just take a step back as a coach, That does a lot for the confidence of a player. Not that Stuart Skinner doesn't have it going right now, but I think going up against Philip Gustafsson tonight, if he can go into Minnesota, get the win and out-duel him, that's where you want his headspace to be at.
Yeah, it's interesting. I wonder how our nasties feel. Let us know. Are you okay with Pickard getting the start? And this is not a shot at Pickard.
No. He's playing. He deserves it. That's another thing. Like, you have to look at it on that side of the coin too. I'm just looking, into the crystal ball, way into the future, where Stuart Skinner most likely is going to be playing game 83, right?
Yeah.
So, but it's not. You want your guys, and this may be the reason why I'm not a coach, is Coach Nobla, if you look at last year, he made some decisions that I would say that a lot of Oilers fans and even myself were a little bit surprised. Like, he had a real good sense of where his team was at, and he seemed to always push those right buttons. Look at when he actually went to Pickard against Vancouver in that playoff series, right? That was the correct button to push. And maybe this is just another one of those things that no one knows the team better than that coaching staff right now. We're just outsiders looking in. Maybe he sees something that we don't see, and this is the proper timing to have your number 2 guy go in there.
Yeah, and it's a good problem to have. Both goalies are playing really well right now. Skinner's been really good in his last 6-7 games. So, yeah, I don't mind it. And we kind of touched on this on Tuesday. We said this, yesterday, it might be Pickard. I think he's 2-2 all time. Has a little bit better numbers than Stuart Skinner because no goaltender has good numbers in Minnesota for the Edmonton Oilers. And then, what do you got, Coop? Okay. We'll probably say it just one more time, but I do appreciate that. I really, really do. What was I going to ask you, Kate? Damn it.
My fault. It's okay, man.
It was the goaltending question, and then, I guess I'll ask. Travis Dermott came in, did his thing for a few games. People were really excited about him, and then he kind of tailed off like most of us expected him to. When you sign on a PTO and you're a 6'7" guy, Gager, but a good soldier.
Good for him, man. That's you know how difficult that is to narrow it down to a team. I don't know if he was fielding other offers or there was other possibilities of going to camp. When he saw the landscape, most likely thought his best chances were to come to Edmonton, and put himself in a good spot. Unfortunately for him, and you could say all those, like at the beginning of the year, like when we look back at it, we were like, what is going on with these guys? Who's gonna step out and grab this spot that's available? And it seemed like everyone was just, had their water wings on and waiting in water. But as
Kulak did.
Oh, but he was already on.
Yeah, I know.
Include him in that.
I'm trying to be funny.
But Stetcher and Brown and Dermott and Emberson, like Emberson was kind of given the keys to the kingdom and found himself out of it. This is what he's been able to do, is kind of solidify his place in this lineup, I'd say.
And this is the other part. Minnesota's so good. They're right there with the Winnipeg Jets, who had an unreal start to the season. They're 19-5-4 for 42 points, tied for first in the West. But their power play is worse than the Oilers at 18.9%, and their PK is worse than the Oilers at 71 points. How bizarre is that?
It's weird. This is where like stats don't always tell the whole picture.
Well,
right?
Goaltending's bailing them out.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. I'd like to see. I tried to find, but I'm just not savvy enough to how many times they are penalized too. Right? I think this is a team that doesn't take that many. I'm assuming they don't take that many penalties.
Well, both the Oilers and the Wild have been shorthanded 67 times.
Okay. Is that a lot? I don't know, compared to other teams.
Yeah. I'll take a look on NHL.com, but it is interesting. So at 5-on-5, the Oilers are going to have to be at their best. I think special teams, the Oilers could have an upper hand because that number one unit eventually is going to go off one game. Hopefully it's tonight because they'll probably need it because 5-on-5, Minnesota is really good. And keep in mind, the Flower got the start here in Edmonton. Remember, he let in that really stinker right off the hop?
There's nothing wrong with that.
No pun intended. And the Oilers weren't able to capitalize and struggled
mightily. He obviously doesn't play cricket.
No.
The flower. Or else he would have knocked that out.
Oh, yeah. All right, we're going to switch gears just quickly. Coming up next, we're going to be joined by Jose Sanchez. He covers the 49ers for SI. We'll tee up the Thursday night game. Something we haven't done a lot of, but it's going to be a fun game. Some playoff implications for sure. Both teams trying to catch the Seahawks because I don't think they'll be able to get into the wild card. Well, you still can. But especially for the 49ers, this is a must-win. So we'll talk some NFL. You have any questions regarding the 49ers, let us know in the Nasty Chat or text us at 780-218-9999. Portions of this hour brought to you by the Canadian Brew House. NFL lives at the Canadian Brew House with Thursday night football and your chance to win a trip to an NFL home opener of your choice. $1 off tankards of Bud Light and Budweiser. Details at thecanadianbrewhouse.com. Up next, we head to San Francisco here on EST Afternoons. Joaquin Gage, Hernan Salas. But here is Zach Kubusch with your sports update.
The Edmonton Oilers have placed Travis Dermott on waivers ahead of their game against the Wild. And you can join Tom Gazzola and Hernan Salas for the GCL Diesel Oil Stream pregame show live from Boston Pizza Westgate at 5:30 right here on EST. Elsewhere, JT Miller slots back in the lineup for the Canucks against the Panthers, while the Lightning battle the Flames and the Jets meet the Golden Knights with 15 games around the NHL. Thursday night football action has the 49ers kicking off with the Rams, where you could join Lieutenant Eric down on Fort Road at the Century Casino Sports Barn Lounge for a 6:15 start. Basketball sees 3 games, including the Raptors on the court against the Heat. This sports update is brought to you by Gimme Virtual Golf, where innovation meets the game. Step into a whole new golfing experience with indoor courses that automatically tee up the ball for you. Play over 240 courses worldwide, all enhanced with a hydraulic swing plate that replicates real-life ball lies, moving in 24 different directions. Whether you're up for a casual round or a serious game, they've got memberships and flex passes to fit your style. Plus, premium members get a winter bag storage. And don't miss out, Gimme Virtual Golf is giving away a free hour of golf every week. Visit Gimme Virtual Golf today and discover just how fun indoor golf can be. EST Afternoons with Hernan Salas and Joaquin Gage continues just after the break. I'm Zachary Kubusch for your sports update.
Get all the latest news and takes on everything Oilers with Dustin Nielsen and Tom Gazzola on the Oil Stream. Live at noon, Monday, Wednesday, and Fridays. Only on EdmontonSportsTalk.com.
You want the heavy hitters on your team, both on and off the ice. If you've been injured in a car accident, call the heavy hitters of injury law. James H. Brown and Associates, Alberta Injury Lawyers. With over 200 years of combined injury law experience, their precedent-setting lawyers are ready to help. Locally owned and proud Edmonton Oilers fans, James H. Brown and Associates wants to support you with their unrivaled experience, unrivaled results, and unrivaled commitment. When accidents happen, head to jameshbrown.com.
Since 1952, William Huff has been the heartbeat of Edmonton's advertising world. From humble beginnings to a citywide powerhouse, we've been the go-to for signage from print to design and installation. Partnering with Edmonton's top sports franchises and major events, we've helped shape the city's global reputation. Our secret, unmatched customer service, decades of experience, and a passion for excellence we call the William Huff Advantage. Visit us online at williamhuff.com.
Celebrate the season by creating space for your holidays. Sentinel Storage. Affordable and flexible storage solutions at a store near you. Shop Canadian, store Canadian. Try 4 weeks free. Visit sentinelstorage.ca.
6:42 here on a cold day in Edmonton, Alberta. It is game day for the Edmonton Oilers as they're in Minnesota to take on the Wild. They've struggled mightily against this team, especially in Minnesota, so we'll see what happens tonight. We have the Oil Stream pregame show starting at 5:30 with Tom Gazzola, Joaquin Gage, and myself, and we'll be back for the postgame show. So keep it locked here on Edmonton Sports Talk. Keep the messages coming to the Nasty Chat and text 780-218-9999. But now we're going to shift gears and talk some NFL football. Thursday night game has the San Francisco 49ers taking on the Rams. A big game for the Niners if they want to keep their slim playoff hopes alive. And to do that, we're joined by Jose Sanchez, deputy editor covering the San Francisco 49ers for SI. Jose, how you doing this afternoon? Oh, can't hear him. Okay, we got to try him again here. It's gonna be a busy evening for her now. Watching both games, probably have Niners on my phone.
Really?
Yeah.
There's 2 TVs here too, man. You can.
Well, I might go see Tommy down at BP's.
Oh,
have some supper and then come back for the third. And
that's all right. That's all right. Okay.
Yeah. But like, how would I make it work here? I'd have to move everything around.
You just take that over there.
That's too much work.
Or you could just sit in here, have that one on your. You have like 8 screens right here.
Yeah, yes, yeah,
like,
yeah.
Geez.
Just sit here, put my feet up. Yeah.
I know the couch is nice though, but
I can't lay down.
We do need 2 TVs out there.
We do
for those.
Maddie, you listening? We're good to go now. It's where we bring in Jose Sanchez, like I said, deputy editor covering the 49ers for SI. Jose, how you doing this afternoon?
Hello?
Hey, Jose, are you there? Sorry, we're having some issues here with the phone connection. How you doing down there in San Francisco?
Are we working now?
Just getting ready for the game. All right, let's get to the game tonight, Jose. It's going to be an interesting one as the 49ers sit at 6-7 on the season, and it's a big one to keep their slim play off hopes alive. What do you see for being the key for the 49ers to win this game? They blew one earlier in the season late to this same team, but what do you see to keys to the victory for the 49ers tonight?
Yeah, number one, I think it's definitely avoiding shooting themselves in the foot. There's one common thing about the 49ers is they've been their own worst enemy.
Yeah.
It's been so many of their losses and their issues this season has been more so because of them than their opponent. They just haven't been able to lock in, get a bunch of urgency. And George Kittle himself said it too the other week, is that players have not been locked in. And he says he doesn't want to call any names, but he says there's been a segment of players who just not giving it their all. So I feel like now that these guys have kind of awakened after this win against the Bears, and I know it's a lowly Bears team, but you have now a division opponent coming in front of you and on a short week, and you should have a lot of fire underneath you. So I think, honestly, it's more so taking care of their own game than it is too much worry about the other team. Because, again, every game, whether it's been a bad opponent or a good opponent, they haven't played up to their own standard. And so I think now that's going to be their key, is actually just locking into what they can do, which is playing aggressive football, executing, not creating turnovers, and playing well-rounded, disciplined football.
Jose, 2 huge pieces for the 49ers lineup with Isaac Guerrero and Nick Bosa. What's their status? Are they going to be able to take part in tonight's contest?
Yeah, Guerrero is good to go. Bosa probably closer to a game time decision. I'm kind of surprised that he was on the limited questionable list, but I think it's because this is such a must-win game. Because obviously the 49ers lose, the playoffs are pretty much kiss goodbye. It's already tough as it is now. So I think Bosa will be closer to game time. I still feel like I'd be shocked to see Bosa out there, but Guerrero sounds like he's good to go. I think the same thing for him. Guerrero had a foot sprain, in that win against the Bears just a few days ago. So it's kind of a little wild that he's going to give it a go. But again, same thing. It's probably going to be a tough it out thing. Hey, Guerrero, we need you. Can you tough it out? We'll provide some supplements to ease the pain. So I think it's going to be one of those things where it's just like, just got to hang on there to deal with the pain and let's just duke it out.
Jose, 49ers linebacker Drake Greenlaw, as a 49ers fan myself, excited to see that he's going to make his return tonight. It's a season debut after the terrible injury in the Super Bowl last season. What kind of snap count do you see Greenlaw on tonight?
Yeah, I love seeing Greenlaw out there. I've had plenty of chats with him one-on-one throughout his last 4 years with him. He's, I think for sure it's gonna be a snap count. I could see they'll probably cap him at like 20, around there. Like it would be like around the 20s, I would say, maybe like 18 to 22 if you're gonna give or take plus or minus 2 snaps from that. I think it's going to be a huge question mark on how he's going to look physically, right? Torn Achilles, coming back at, sometimes players aren't the same, especially for a guy who needs that explosiveness laterally. The Niners have seen like Navarro Bowman go through that, where he lost some of his lateral quickness. But I think overall with Greenlaw, whether that gets, whether that question gets answered, is the 49ers are gaining their fiery leader. And I just posted it right now on the social media is 49ers. One thing about Dre Greenlaw that a bunch of his teammates said, and Charvarius Ward told me during Super Bowl week, is that Dre Greenlaw is the motor of that defense. That guy has emotional fire and that's just contagious and infectious to the whole defense. That's going to rev them up. And he's a tone setter. And you saw it in that Super Bowl where he comes out there, he gets tackled for a loss, he blows up Travis Kelce on another play, and he just was doing good for about that quarter and a half of that Super Bowl until he went out. And he's just an uplifting figure. It's when you see him, it's hard as a teammate of his, like, yo, I got to ball out because this guy is putting on the line. He's out there, and now that he's going to be, for how many snaps he's going to be there for, he's going to be there to light up his teammates, and I'm sure it's going to generate fantastic results.
Jose, it's difficult to get to the Super Bowl on its own, let alone in consecutive seasons. But from the beginning of the year, the 49ers kind of considered a favorite, but going through a ton of adversity throughout the start of the season with injuries and holdouts. But now, looking at it, they do have a chance to kind of get back and possibly get into the playoff picture. In your mind, do you think that the adversity that they have gone through can kind of put them in a good position if they do end up making the playoffs? And can they make some hay if they get there?
Oh, yeah. If the Niners get to that playoffs, that would mean that they went on a serious run. That would have meant that they won practically every game, because I honestly don't know if I sincerely doubt they can get in with one more loss on the record at this point. They're just too far gone, and they fumbled too many games to be in that position. So if they get in this playoffs, that tells me that, okay, they won out every game, and they are surging with some serious momentum. They're a team that no one's going to want to face, and they would probably be, a 6 or 7 seed? Who's going to be a second or third team? Like, imagine if the Lions have to, host them because, they're in a tight race for that top seed with the Eagles and such. Or any of those teams who are, second or third seed. Imagine if you're not the Falcons, it would probably be, just imagine one of those teams if you had to, host the 49ers. You do not want to see them. And I think that would help them, with that win. And I wrote about it after that Bears game. Look, hey, I get it's the lowly Bears, but the 49ers were not looking anywhere near as polished against any team, no matter what caliber of what caliber of talent they were. And not that they were able to not shoot themselves in the foot. They were able to take care of business. Maybe we got some momentum here. I feel like tonight's game against the Rams is really going to see, okay, was that just because they were facing against a really bad team who said 1, 2, 3 Cancun in the Bears? Or are we actually going to see a team who actually can play up to themselves, who actually cares, who actually want to get that with some urgency? Because, look, they've been with some serious playoff runs the last 5 years, and it's been a lot of disappointment and heartbreak, and these guys probably have not been emotionally awake, and maybe now they can create some time. But yeah, if they can get if they especially get this win today, then I think we have some life, and there's definitely a pulse on them that no one wants to see.
Jose Sanchez, writer for SI, covering the San Francisco 49ers, joins us here on EST Afternoons. Joaquin Gage and Hernan Salas. Jose, I feel like I follow a lot of 49ers meetings, and it feels like the consensus is there is kind of I don't know if bad vibe is the right word, but something that was just off from the start of training camp. And Gager talked about it here, about the holdouts and the injuries and just, blowing the games in the fourth quarter. Am I correct in saying that, just from the outside looking in, that there is just something off right from training camp on?
Oh, 1,000%. It's funny because there's a lot of things I feel like, I don't know about other teams, but with 49ers media the last 2 to 3 years is a lot of stat collection in training camp, and I don't buy into that. I'm like, okay, we're counting stats like training camp. It's kind of weird. What I really want to see is okay, how much are you playing? What are you looking like a little bit initially? Just, not with stats, but the vibes definitely were off. And I'll take it a step further for you. It wasn't off before training camp. I mean, it wasn't off during training camp. It was off before training camp. I mean, even with, starting from as soon as that post game occurred with the 49ers from the Super Bowl, everything just went downhill. Everything went downhill. So it just wasn't working for them. And you got Brandon Ayuk situation. Everything set a bad precedent. And it leaked into the season. Kyle Shanahan himself even alluded to that last week. It was kind of crazy to see. So, yeah, it's just been a rough one for them. The bad vibes were definitely there. You're 100% correct. And now they're trying to be out of it. It's leaked into these, like you said, fourth quarter collapses. And guess what happened in the Super Bowl? Fourth quarter overtime collapse. Yeah. And it's been something that they've been replaying over and over again. It's just when you're a team that's, like I said, has been played in so many of these high-stakes games and gone so far in the playoffs, Super Bowl, how do you get yourselves up for these regular season games? It'd be almost like the same way as like with the NBA teams, kind of like, mailing it in for some of these regular season games. So you're 100% correct. And I feel like at this point, how are they going to be able to beat those odds with those vibes, trying to turn the other way?
Looking into the crystal ball at the end of the season, eventually there's a quarterback that needs to be signing. What are you hearing on the Brock Purdy front, and what kind of number would he be commanding with 2 successful seasons and 1 season here that's let's just say not as good as the previous 2?
Well, I think, of course, like injuries play a part, and I think it's kind of the offense a little bit, as with how Kyle Shanahan's calling play, it's kind of going hand in hand. Kyle Shanahan's not playing his best, and Purdy, especially like for a good large part of the season, has not seen as easy of the reads that he should be making, especially in the red zone. So he just hasn't been on the money too much. It's just overall everything is cumulatively bad, and he's not the only one. So I think entering the offseason, I feel like if I'm the 49ers, what's the rush? Just let him play it out. Unless he's willing to take like a $40-45 million annually, which would be at this rate a discounted, and relative to the quarterback market, then okay, fine. But I think personally, let him wait. Let's see. He's got 1 more year in his deal. I know you have free agency pending after that, and you'd risk losing him. But I'd say just let him wait. Let's see another year, because right now it's you don't feel confident paying him that top dollar for sure, like Dak Prescott and all them. And at that point, if you do, you're gonna really like restrict your team. So I think for this point, if you're looking at Purdy, you just want to keep waiting and seeing. And if you can get him on some type of good discount deal in the offseason, then you do it.
Jose, one last one here for you. I agree with you. I think the Niners have to run the table here and get some help to get into the playoffs. How disappointing will this season be viewed? And I know John Lynch was on San Francisco radio, I think last week or earlier this week, saying Kyle Shanahan's fine. He kind of brought up everything he's done. But do you see any possibility, if they don't make the playoffs, which is a high possibility, that Kyle Shanahan might be moved on from?
No, not at all. That just seems like overreactionary, knee-jerk, emotional, in the moment. Like, come on, like. And look, I work with one of the most polarizing figures in 49ers media.
Grant?
And let's just say I do not agree with him. So I think it's just overreactionary 1,000%. And it's like, look, if you're going to complain about a guy who's having an off year and he already has 5 or 6 wins on the year and he's going to just barely miss the playoffs, then come on. Like, at this point, now you're complaining that you don't have, like, like high-end, like, I don't know, like the most high-end crystal clear water versus like, okay, this is like cool water. I don't know. It's the most complaining, like spoiled kind of like feeling that you would say about like letting him go. So no, 1,000%, he's not on the hot seat. He's not going to get fired. But I will say maybe the temperature just increase. Let's say like you're cooking on the stove.
Yeah.
Instead of there being no flame, maybe you're on low flame now. Maybe instead of no flame, you're on the low flame on your stove top. So I'd probably say that a little bit of Kyle Shanahan, just because like, okay, bro, like last year was kind of bad. Like let's kick into the gear a little bit for next year.
Yeah, no, that's good to hear. I follow your colleague there. He's quite outspoken and has some interesting takes for sure, but he keeps it interesting, Jose. Great stuff, man. Thank you for joining us on Game Day, live from San Francisco there. Enjoy the game tonight and go Niners.
I appreciate you guys, man. You guys have a beautiful day.
All right. Jose Sanchez, deputy editor covering the San Francisco 49ers for SI, joined us here. It was a fun interview, man. Passionate. I know who he's talking about, his counterpart. Like, it's funny because like he gets a press pass. Obviously, he's in like players won't answer his questions anymore.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they always say next question. And he had a player on his podcast, and like the player like threatened him, like,
oh, really?
Yeah. And then the coach has just had enough of him. He's like, didn't I answer this already? Like.
Oh.
But he's very outspoken, has crazy ideas. Like you think Oilers media or fans are a little out? Like, go follow this guy. His name is Grant Cohn. He's just. And he does a bit after the game. He's in the hallway of the dressing room and he's walking and he does a whole recap of the game and he does not hold back. Like this guy is definitely public enemy number one there for the San Francisco organization. But hey, man, he's got a ton of followers.
Yeah.
He gets the clicks, he gets the views. So it should be a fun game tonight, Gager.
Yeah, no, I mean when your back's up against the wall, and I mean I've been a 49er fan for a long period of time, so. Although I haven't watched too much this year, but I'll my second screen that I'll have next to the other screen I have tonight, Hernan, that I'll put there. I'll just do it. I'll watch a bit.
Yeah, we should put a TV on top of the one out there.
Well, it'll cover the sign,
yes.
right?
Hernan's not thinking.
Yeah, but you need something.
Mm-hmm.
Just build it into the wall, right? What it should be is it should be like 4 screens, right? And then you have the logos, but then we can turn them off and have different games on because eventually we'll need it.
Especially in the playoffs.
Yeah.
You can watch all of them. All right. That was a fun convo. We'll return to some hockey talk. I know everybody's I know there's a big argument here about goaltending and on the nasty chat. Well, not argument. People just having their say. Yes, we do agree that Pickard should play more, and so Skinner's a little bit fresher come towards the end of the season and into the playoffs, of course. But the only reason it's a discussion is because Skinner's been really good. So it's not back-to-back. So we just said, are you surprised? Would you have gone with Skinner? Or it's not a disrespect to Calvin Pickard. He's been fine. But I think either goalie you have tonight, Gager, you're going to be in tough. But we'll continue to break it down and continue to go around the world of sports here on EST Afternoons. Coming up next, everyone's favorite, the Red Light District with Joaquin Gage. That's all coming up here on EST Afternoons on Edmonton Sports Talk. It's Joaquin Gage. It's Hernan Salas. But first up, a sports update with Kubusch.
Travis Dermott has hit the waiver wire from the Edmonton Oilers as they get set to face Kirill Kaprizov and the Minnesota Wild. Catch Tom Gazzola live from Boston Pizza Westgate for the GCL Diesel Oil Stream pregame show, which airs at 5:30, only on EST. And with 15 games on tap, it's the Leafs against the Ducks. The Pens dropping the puck with the Canadiens, while the Canucks welcome back JT Miller to their lineup when they take on the Panthers. The NFL has the Rams and 49ers seeing Lieutenant Eric watching the game at the Century Casino Sports Bar and Lounge on Fort Road. Kickoff for that one goes at 6:15. On the court, the Raps get set to battle the Heat on a 3-game NBA slate. EST Afternoons returns just after the break. I'm Zachary Kubusch, keeping you in the loop.
Wake up with the Nielsen Show with Dustin Nielsen and Lieutenant Eric. Weekday mornings 6 to 9 on EdmontonSportsTalk.com.
Hi there. If you're like me, you like to picture yourself in luxury, even though there's absolutely no way you can afford it. And if you can, well, even better. Thankfully, I picture myself in something that is luxury, but still absolutely affordable, like the all-new Mazda CX-90 from Park Mazda. With the new luxury features like facial recognition settings and quilted detail Napa leather seating, I can pretend to be comfortable with all of my proper settings activated without even touching a button, thanks to Mitch Lewicki and the great staff at Park Mazda. I like to picture Mitch Lewicki in a tuxedo t-shirt because it says, like, he wants to be formal, but he's also here to party too.
Park Mazda, your dealer for life in Sherwood Park off Y Road Park.
Your brand deserves more than just a whisper, it deserves a buzz. At the Hive Product Marketing, they specialize in promotional products that bring the buzz. From eye-catching giveaways to unforgettable keepsakes, they got the perfect products to make your brand stand out and get noticed. Visit the Hive Product Marketing and let them create the buzz your business deserves. The Hive Product Marketing, the official merch partner of Edmonton Sports Talk. Visit them online at thehiveproductmarketing.com.
Book your holiday party at the CBH today. The Canadian Brewhouse is your ultimate destination for events, parties, fundraisers, and more. 'Tis the season to celebrate. Visit and book now in-store or at thecanadianbrewhouse.com.
Joaquin.
You don't have to put on the red light. Those days are over. You don't have to sell your body to the night.
Joaquin.
You don't have to wear that dress tonight. Walk the streets for money. You don't care if it's wrong or if it's right.
Joaquin.
You don't have to put on the red light.
Joaquin.
You don't have to put on the red light.
Joaquin. 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 143. Welcome back to EST Afternoons. We just talked to Jose Sanchez from SI, who covers the 49ers. Should be a fun one tonight if you want to sprinkle a little bit. Jawan Jennings, George Kittle, TD. Those guys have been money.
Plus 800, I just looked.
Are you serious?
I know, I'm throwing.
For people asking, yes, the pre-game and post-game shows will be live with Tom Gazzola from BP's Westgate. So if you'd like to go say hi and see him and all that, you will be down there. So, and if you want to hang out with Lieutenant Eric, Centric Casino,
yeah.
Centric Casino, Fort Road, he'll be there for Thursday Night Football. Should be a fun one. It's time for the Red Light District, brought to you by No One Just Yet. We're working on that. If you'd like to sponsor it, Matt at Edmonton Sports Talk. I'm kidding. Hernan or Joaquin or Matt or Dusty, whatever it is. But Joaquin, this is your segment. Take it over.
I need help, buddy.
Oh.
I'm looking for help from the millions of people watching and listening right now.
The millions.
I know people think I got everything together. I come across as a guy that's got it all going for him. But I'll tell you one thing I'm not good at, and that is getting gifts for people.
Oh.
I am absolutely horrible at it. And as it turns out, my trophy wife, her birthday lands quite close to Christmas, which is helpful in my case because when I blow it, because the birthday comes before Christmas, so when I blow it for the Christmas gift, or the birthday gift, I can still kind of make up for it at Christmas if need to, right? So, but we've been, I believe now it is, so it's 20 years married, 25 together, 38 with the wind chill, but I need help knowing what. And she's already said this is the trap that I get sucked into all the time because she said a few weeks ago that you got me shoes for my birthday, thank you. So she ordered them, right? So I'm thinking perfect, done. But now I'm going no. I still got to get her something.
Yeah. Oh,
right.
Yeah.
So, but, and ever since Germany and I got her anti-aging cream, I couldn't read it. It was a little bit different. So, but I need some help. What should I get my wife for her birthday? And then I'm thinking maybe like a combined gift so it makes sense. Maybe I get something for the birthday. And then on Christmas she gets something else and it makes even more sense.
Oh, that's a tough one, man. Because they're really close, right?
17th is her birthday.
Oh, okay. So a week away. Yeah. Oh, that's tough.
I got her some little dinky things. I got gifts receipts. Don't worry.
Does she drop hints?
No,
like
no, not
I really like this, and like you're watching the game, and
but
okay.
Yeah, we're not going to Dubai.
That's an interesting one. Oh man, I like overthink a lot, and I overthink gifts a lot, especially for your partner, right? Because you're always kind of freaking out. So I'm probably not the best guy to give you advice. Well, I did really well for the birthday present in November, though. Really well.
You know what? Like I've done some bad ones, like the anti-aging cream. I once She dropped a hint. I thought it was a hint. It wasn't a hint.
Oh, okay.
She said, I want to work out again. I need something. So I went and got her like plyometric running shoes or something, these things. And she goes, why did you buy me these? I go, well, you said you wanted to work out. A, they were gross. And B, she took it as I thought she needed to lose weight. So it was just that Christmas was terrible. Last year, and this is where it's kind of funny, and hopefully she doesn't hear this, but I got her, I'm never getting her clothes again. Last year was the last time. I got her like a shirt and some comfy pants or whatever for like, around the house or something like that. And she goes, what is this? And she goes, take this back. And I forgot, and it was in the back of my car, and it went past the expiry date of the receipt. So I thought I'd just wrap this stuff up again and give it to her just as a joke, then give her the real things.
Yeah.
But no, I don't know. I don't know what I should do here. So
there's one here that says, Ace says, I just buy people gift cards to Dairy Queen. That's not going to work. Mitchie R, a suitcase for the birthday present, followed by a trip somewhere for Christmas.
She did drop a thing, maybe because we've never actually gone away without the kids, right? But now, I mean, they're old enough. We can hopefully leave them at home without burning the place down. But I thought maybe a getaway, a weekend somewhere, book it, right?
That's crazy, man. That's that's a tough one because they're so close together, right? And like Nasty's help us out because I'm no help right now. Like I'm freaking out on what to buy my girlfriend for Christmas. I was actually thinking about it today. I have a few ideas, but I got to do some research. But help us out. What has been your worst present you given your spouse?
Yeah, Skechers. Workout shoes, not the best.
I love Skechers.
Oh, they're great, but don't give them to your girlfriend with that are whatever. What did they have on there? Rockers and like they were plyometric shoes. Like they looked like Jimmy from Seinfeld.
When I started with the Elks, the first couple of games on the sideline, I was wearing Converse, and my feet were like my back. I couldn't stand by the end. I went and I got a pair of Skechers. Changed my life, man.
Yeah. It's all I buy now.
They don't look sexy.
No,
but
there's a few that you can look okay, right? Shoes are tough to buy, I think, for my wife. No clothes. I think I might. Jewelry's always okay. She used to use those. I get her those sparkle balls. A lot of girls have the sparkle ball earrings. But then again, I messed that up too one time because I got the real fancy ones, the real dangly, and she didn't like those. She just wanted
The only way I'd get clothes or shoes for your partner is if they actually tell you exactly what they want. Like a picture and like this is the style, and because it's hard to choose clothes, man.
Yeah, I know. Yeah. Because the mirrors in department stores are all messed up. It's like a fun house, right? They're not you look at yourself in one of those mirrors and go, damn, I look good. And then you get home, you put this thing on, and you look like Grimace.
Matt at the Garrison, can never go wrong with a spa package.
I've tried that.
No.
Yeah, I don't think it worked out that well. I was thinking about that, but I've done that in the past. I can't go back to the well with something that kind of looked good.
Big Slam Nazi. I got my wife a nice matching robe and slippers, then this perfume she wanted. Also got this old bracelet she loves fixed and cleaned as a surprise.
I do have an opportunity to do something like that. Fragrances, that was on my list.
Yeah.
Possible. But then I always get that wrong. But then I have to say, this is how I want you to smell. And you want me to smell that bad? Zach, what do you get? What do you get? Whoever you like for Christmas? You get anything good for your family or mom? What do you get your mom?
Oh, I'm terrible at buying gifts. I don't know. Like maybe a candle every year, but that's like. I mean, candles are good, but sometimes you don't know what people like the smells, and it changes over time and stuff like that. You can't get the same thing every year, so usually it's candles. But I don't know, a family picture. That's a good one. People they're suckers for that.
It's got to mean something, though. Like guys are easy. You get us you could get a PS5 controller. You don't even have to have a PS5, and you'd probably be happy with it.
Oh yeah, I just look at that thing.
You know, as I gotten older, I don't mind candles.
Candles.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like we have an ocean mist at home. It smells delicious. You always have some here in your office.
I know.
Yeah, it's great for the office.
Grandpa's pipe.
And they're pretty pricey, right? Like I think last weekend there was a special on candles. Everybody's going to get them, but I wouldn't say no to a candle.
You could take somebody shopping, like take somebody to the mall prior. And I know it's now the 17th. You got to get something for, but take them to the mall and that's cool. What do you think about this? I try and do that because I don't remember when people drop the hints.
Is a gift card too kind of in person? Like it's not.
Yeah.
Like if you got your wife like a big gift card from Southgate Mall and she can go anywhere she wants. Because at least then she's getting something she wants. Right?
I know, but
I do get that people don't like gift cards.
I mean, I love it, but I think it's at the point where she wants something that I've really thought out, and something that I think that means something to her, which I haven't been able to do in 26 years. But
an Alec Regula jersey.
Phoenix Rising gift card for a shoe store.
See, everyone's saying these things, and my house is littered with them. Like the Sage diffusers, yes, got 4 or 5 of those in the house. You know what? X-Ray J, that's a good one actually. The weekly planner. My wife does like a good planner that she writes stuff down in.
There's nothing like a good planner though. Just makes you feel good, man.
I mean, I was thinking just me on a bearskin rug with a bow on it, but it makes it kind of awkward.
There's got to be something better.
One of those like coupon packages where I'll take the garbage out this day or whatever, redeem at any time, then you have one of everything or something. That's pretty cheesy, but
I like this one from McStappen on the inbox, 780-218-99. A trip to Montreal, June 13th to 15th. Definitely not for the F1 race.
You want to go to Montreal? That'd be good.
The Liquid Beaver. Been married 31 years. I learned that the cash is king. Give her money and go shopping with her to keep her company. She will appreciate that more than anything you ever pick out because, face it, all men suck at buying gifts.
Okay, good. That's good to know because... you know what? That's not true because my brother-in-law seems to knock it out of the park all the time. He gets good ones. But he does the research. He does oh, God. Oh, you can't do that. JD, come on.
Yeah.
It's not the worst present I've given because my wife really wanted it, but I didn't think I was going to get out of the store alive. My wife really wanted this new Dyson vacuum cleaner. So, like the good husband, I went on Christmas Eve to get it for her. But the looks I got from every woman in the store as I made my way to the till made me scared for my life, JD.
Hey, those things are cool. We got one, and when we got our place,
I love my
they're
Dyson.
awesome.
They're
like
awesome.
For like flooring, oh my God.
Yeah.
Like we love it. Like expensive because at the time I was like, what? How much are we paying for this? And then once we got it and now I've been using it, it's totally worth it.
Yeah. A few years ago, I did go and get her a car starter for her car. And that was hard because I had to take her car, go get it done, come back. And she was like, "What are you doing?" And I think she thought I was cheating on her. I was being, and I wasn't very cloak and dagger with it. And then so before her birthday, she found the key and was like, couldn't start her car, and it was weird. And I was like, "Oh, geez, here, I got you a car." But it worked out good. She loves that car starter.
Timber Woodsman, a professional full house cleaning or car detail.
Yeah, I just hate buying something I could do myself.
I got one. A hairless cat.
Jesus.
Oh, boy. That's a good one. Is that what you're getting your son? A hairless cat. So help out Joaquin. His wonderful wife's birthday is a week away, right around Christmas. We're right on Christmas Eve, right?
No, 17th.
17th, and then the following. Oh, no, and then it obviously. Yeah. Sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah, so.
Christmas is on the 25th this year.
I know. It's always the same day. I meant the birthday.
Yeah,
the birthday the 17th, Christmas. Help Joaquin. What should he do for both presents? Should he combine them? Should he get different ones? Should it's something entail both of you, like a trip or?
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
I know what you mean.
That's good. Time's running out, Gager.
I still got time, buddy. I work best under pressure.
Me too. Me too. All right, that does it for the Red Light District. Again, if you'd like to partner on this segment, hit us up, Hernan or Joaquin at EdmontonSportsTalk.com. We'd love to have you on. It's the best segment on this show right now, the Red Light District, best intro song. Like, you can't go wrong. You cannot go wrong. All right, in hour 2, we'll get back to some Oilers and Wild. Preston Hodgkinson, Oilers reporter for the Daily Hive, will join us at 2:20. That's all coming up here on EST Afternoons on Edmonton Sports Talk. Don't forget to hammer that thumbs up. Subscribe if you haven't done so. We really appreciate that, as it gets more eyes on the channel, more eyes on the shows, and just helps in all facets of the streaming world. So please do the thumbs up and the subscribe button, and we'll be back right after the break.
Get to know the winners, props, plays, parlays, and more with Nielsen and Hustler. Weekday mornings at 11 on The Lock Shop. Only on EdmontonSportsTalk.com.
Celebrating 70 years in the signage industry, William Huff Advertising is the most recognized name in the game. An in-house, one-stop shop for all of your design, print, and installation needs. William Huff provides quality graphic solutions for everyone. Here in our City of Champions and throughout the nation, they're the preferred signage partner entrusted by many of the biggest corporations, pro sports teams, and organizations to bring their identity to life. Recognize the name, get in the game. WilliamHuff.com.
Looking for a winning strategy for your retirement? Contact me, Joaquin Gage at K4 Financial, where expertise meets dedication. I will always look for a careful approach to your retirement, ensuring your financial future is secure. From tailored strategies to clear, actionable advice, I'm here to guide you every step of the way. Don't leave your future to chance. Get in touch with me, Joaquin Gage, today at k4financial.ca or email joaquin.gage@k4financial.ca to start planning for a brighter future and a more secure retirement.
Don't feel like working? Join the Hangout. You never know what you might hear. Weekday mornings 9 to 11 on EdmontonSportsTalk.com.
The Edmonton Oilers have placed Travis Dermott on waivers ahead of their game against the Wild, and you can join Tom Gazzola and Hernan Salas for the GCL Diesel Oil Stream pregame show live from Boston Pizza Westgate at 5:30 right here on EST. Elsewhere, JT Miller is back for the Canucks against the Panthers, while the Lightning battle the Flames, and the Jets get set to meet the Golden Knights, having 15 games around the NHL. Thursday Night Football sees the 49ers kick off with the Rams, where you can join Lieutenant Eric down on Fort Road at the Century Casino Sports Bar and Lounge for a 6:15 start. And in basketball, it's the Raptors on the court against the Heat with 3 games around the association. EST Afternoons with Hernan Salas and Joaquin Gage continues right now. I'm Zachary Kubusch, keeping you up to date.
On EST Afternoons, it's Joaquin Gage, it's Hernan Salas, it's Cube Nation with you this Thursday afternoon. Of course, it is Edmonton Oilers game day as they are in mini to take on the Wild. 6:30 puck drop. The Oil Stream, the GCL Diesel Oil Stream pregame show gets going at 5:30. So we'll cut into the Reed Wilkins show with Jay Mill. But yeah, we'll have full coverage for you here. So don't go anywhere. Keep it locked on Edmonton Sports Talk. You want to connect with us, hit us up on the Nasty Chat on the YouTube channel, or text us 780-218-9999. You like to listen to us, tune in, or the iHeartRadio apps. And if you want to watch us, of course, it's the EST YouTube channel. We're coming to you live from the lovely William Huff Studios here in the west end of the city. And Gager, a couple things I want to get to here quickly. Coming up this hour, Preston Hodgkinson from the Daily Hive here in Edmonton, Oilers reporter, will join us to continue to recap, preview the game between the Oilers and Wild. And if you missed it, Travis Dermott on waivers today by the Edmonton Oilers, and it seems like their new waiver pickup. It's going to get into some games here now. I'm intrigued to see him. It is Alec. Where'd he go? Regula. that was with the Oilers. He spoke with the media today. Seems like a good kid. Played with Evan Bouchard in London.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. But getting back to your
Is that a
topic.
good thing?
Yeah, I don't know. He's used to it.
I'm just kidding, Boosh. I know you've got a game tonight. Sorry.
I like this one from Matt at Garrison. Tickets to Creed.
Saw that. That would be good.
No?
Probably not.
Okay. Barry in the Park says, I was told early in the relationship, no housekeeping stuff, no kitchen stuff. Those aren't gifts. They're household items.
But I am the I'm the head chef, so that would be a gift more for me than.
How about a Dyson blow dryer? They're like
those are like $8,000 though. Aren't
they're
they?
pretty expensive, man.
Yeah. Why? What's the big deal with a Dyson? Why though?
I don't get it either, man.
I mean, just because it's a Dyson and they're little or whatever.
It's something to do with like the heat and like it doesn't damage your hair and like there's just so much different things that goes into it.
I guess it would dry my back hair a little quicker.
Just some quick NHL notes. The Rangers won last night, beat the Sabres, dropped their 8th straight, Gager. Holy smokes, that team is in shambles. JT Miller returns to the Canucks lineup tonight. He spoke with the media, and he started off by saying, listen, guys, I know you're going to ask me. I'm not going to talk about why I was gone. But if you guys are going to ask me, you're not going to get an answer. But then after that, he just answered hockey questions.
Yeah.
And then according to Dolly, Rick Dollywall from Donnie and Dolly out there in Vancouver, he says he's hearing Vinny D is on the trade block.
Oh.
So
coming back with retention.
Not a good time for Vinny Desharnais. He is not a Rick Tocchet guy. You can tell. And I said this a couple weeks ago that he's kind of falling out of favor here. Also, this day in sports history, 1981, Wayne Gretzky became the quickest to reach 50 goals in a season. It was in his 39th game.
5 in that game. It was hilarious. I love when he talks about those old videos and he says, right after I phoned my dad and I said, Dad, I did it. Did what? He goes, scored 50 goals in 39 games. Well, his dad's response was, what took you so long? It's bizarre being on a team when a guy scores 50 goals because when you're playing throughout the season, it really does feel like they're scoring every single game because it's so many goals. And I can't imagine what that was like for the other players on that Edmonton Oilers team when Gretz was just going nuts. Like,
it's crazy. It was kind of like Connor McDavid, like something you've never seen before. Like it was just unreal. 22 years ago today, the Rangers acquired Josh Green for the Edmonton Oilers for a conditional pick.
Greener. 38
years ago on this day, the Hartford Whalers acquired Dave Semenko from the Oilers for a 3rd-round pick.
Wow.
And I think Semenko at that point said, I'm out. Like, I'll retire.
Yeah.
I want to be in Edmonton.
Yeah. Josh Green, poor guy. His first year had camp, came into camp. He was a high pick, but dislocated his shoulder, in camp. So he was just around rehab. That's like, 2-3 months rehab to get back. Comes back, goes down to the minors, dislocates the other one, and it was just missed the entire season. Played I think 3 games all year, and was just rehabbing it. We all went to Cancun at the end of the year. He did look good with all that rehab, like he was buff and the stuff. But man, that sucked.
Oh boy, Josh Green
every
12.
day on working with Fibber and just getting bagged every single day. God, poor guy.
And Elliot Freeman reports Trevor Zegras had surgery today on a torn meniscus in his right knee. He is out 6 weeks.
No, I thought it was his motivator that was broken.
Yeah, one or the other. This is a good question. I saw it just now. X-Ray J. On a related topic, would you take offense at a household or kitchen gift from your spouse?
No.
Either would I.
I'd love it.
I'm extremely happy when I get something for the kitchen. Or,
nice pots or pans or something like that.
Like a coffee, like
whatever.
Espresso or
Oh yeah, my TikTok algorithm shows a lot of there's these coffee sets where the guy, it's basically like soothing music and the guy grinding his own beans and putting the little devices and the filters and it's coming through and pouring it. I would love something like that.
Yeah, see, that's interesting, eh?
I grind my own beans anyway, but I would like those other attachments.
It's just different, right?
Everybody's different.
Yeah. I don't mind getting gifts like that, especially like now that I'm older.
Yeah.
Like anything for the house or hell, I'm even happy with.
You know what I want more than anything? You know, there's two things.
Okay.
One would be a new Apple Watch but it's bad luck for me because every time I get one of my kids or my wife breaks theirs and they just end up, it's happened twice now. I've gotten two and I've had to give them to the kids. So I just stopped getting them and it'd either be one, or I would like a Google Nest home automation kind of thing. Comes with the thermostat, the hub, the extra plugs that you can put in and kind of automate your home a little bit. That's what I'd like.
That's interesting. You like that kind of stuff, though.
Oh, an espresso machine. She does like that. Mitchie, is it Mitchie R or Mitchier?
I go Mitchie R.
Mitchie R?
Yeah.
Yeah, you've got some good suggestions. You're costing me a fortune, though.
I'm just trying to see something here, my friend. Yeah, but keep those suggestions coming in. Gager does need some help for the birthday on the 17th. And who knew Christmas on the 25th?
Who knew? Who knew? Jeez.
Because in our culture in Chile, our Christmas is Christmas Eve.
Yeah.
That's when we do the big dinner.
Most people are, yeah.
And we open our presents then.
Yeah.
And then the 25th is just kind of like visit the family or leftover days and kind of, do that kind of thing. So we celebrate more on the 20. Like when we were kids, we're like, okay, let's try the 25th stuff. And we're like, nope, we like the 24th. We tried it a few times. And
I have for probably the first, like when my boy was young enough, he'd walk down the stairs and I'd have the Santa's carrots and milk were set out and they were gone, obviously, right? And he would come out and see and I've videoed him for years. And the one year he comes down and it was really when he got a grasp of what was happening and he was like just stunned. And then I go, yeah, look at this and look at he goes, oh, the presents. And I go, look at the milk and cookies. And he looks at it and like they're gone. And he just went, oh my God. Like he ate them, Dad. He ate them. It was the best moment. I caught it on. It was when those, remember those MasterCard commercials? Whatever you'd say, this so much, having your kid react to something priceless.
Yeah.
And I edited the video and had that. It's a good one.
I got to see that obviously with my nephews and nieces. We do the whole Santa thing and drop off the bag.
Oh, yeah.
Cookies and stuff. And same thing. It was beautiful to watch. It's just so innocent.
Yeah, I know. It was, you know what? I didn't, well, for all the kids that are listening to earmuffs, but those elves on the shelves, that's a tough one.
Yeah.
If you have to have kids to realize the pain of an elf on the shelf.
C-Run says a trip to the Cayman Islands without the kids.
Jesus.
Aiden,
Dusty, I need a raise.
Aiden O'Neill says a heated/weighted blankets are nice.
You know what? She could have about 15 X-ray machines on her with the amount of weighted blankets. I thought I was making the bed the other day and I tried to flip that. She has a massive queen size weighted blanket that she puts on, and I thought I dislocated both my shoulders trying to whip that thing out. It is so heavy. No, she's good.
Nash Osborne says, I went Christmas shopping with my wife Tuesday and she picked out all her gifts. I know, it's lame.
But that's a good thing because then you can go and get something, it doesn't have to be extravagant but if here I was thinking about you get it, then you're in good books because she gets what she wants, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Maybe I should do that.
And Michiar says, I'm a wife. I have good ideas of what we want.
I know.
You're helping us. Yeah. It's just a little heavy on the wallet. A trip to the. I know she didn't recommend the Cayman Islands, but damn.
You guys ever camp or sit outside? Maybe a heated camp chair or the Milwaukee heated vest or jacket? Yeah, no, we're not big campers. God, I have a terrible story of that's not for radio, but if a nasty bash, I'll tell it.
Ultrasonic jewelry cleaner. My wife loves hers, Van Owen.
Ooh.
Yeah, it's interesting.
That's interesting.
You gotta look into that.
I gotta, because I put the palm olive in the cup and then let it soak in there to clean it for her.
Ultrasonic jewelry. I'm looking this up.
I think it's one of those things that like just vibrate, right? And
Yeah.
clean the dust off. You could get it for glasses too.
Oh. Look at Coob Nation chiming in with some ideas here.
Yeah. All he needs is a girlfriend.
Mitchie R says, you didn't give me a limit.
I know.
That's fair. That's fair.
Well, pick a limit and stay within it, as we say on this show a lot.
Yeah, it's crazy. So the Oilers tonight.
Oilers need
So,
to
question
bring
for you.
their fans a gift tonight.
They do. How great would it be to see them win a game in Minnesota?
Oof.
It'd be amazing.
Yeah, I think that would make this holiday season very special. If they can, well, just look at these games. If they can kind of run the table here a little bit and show that they're the kind of the big dogs of the West.
That'd be great.
That'd be
and
good.
And they'd really be rolling now. Did you catch any of the morning show draft today of
No.
Christmas? So you haven't voted or anything?
No, I haven't. I heard a little bit when I finally got here, but
Reed was freaking hilarious. Like,
Yeah.
absolutely hilarious.
I love the board game. What was the board game called that he put in?
I can look it up here because they have the voting on. Let's see who's leading this vote here right now. Who did you vote for, Nasties? Of course, Dusty's in the lead by far. He has a 10% lead on Reed.
Yeah, but the one thing I find with Dusty's picks, I don't know if they're the picks that he would really, if it came down to it, that's what he would pick.
No, he plays to the crowd.
Yeah,
because he just wants to win.
Yeah,
he's kind of like LeBron. Let me see the board game here. Where are the board games?
Well, he picked a board game for activity during Christmas.
His indoor activity was board games, but then he picked. Where the hell is it? Reed, what board game did you pick again? Ticket to Ride.
Ride's a good modern day board game. I think 07 it came out. That's still family oriented, and the rules are like a page long. Anybody can learn it quite quickly.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Huh.
It's building a train network across Canada and the States. Yeah.
Oh, really? Man, you got to bring one of these things in here one time.
Okay.
Yeah, that we can all play. All right?
Okay.
Okay, which list would you go? Like, if you had to go to someone's house for these drinks, who would you go to? Okay, number one, it's two options: rum and eggnog, milk for Santa. Number two, hot chocolate and a nice port. Number
Was that Tommy?
No, it wasn't actually. Okay. Group 3 was coffee and Baileys and a nice scotch. And then 4 was wine and beer.
Okay, so last one is Dusty for sure.
No, it's not.
Oh, it isn't?
No.
Okay. Tommy's got to be Bailey's.
Tommy's wine and beer.
Is he?
Yeah.
Oh, he's playing to the crowd a little bit. I think I'd go eggnog. That's the festive one.
Really?
Yeah.
But then you're going to just drink milk on the other? No.
That's for Santa.
I'd probably have to go wine and beer.
I think I'd probably go.
Followed
Oh
closely
no,
by-
I'd go. I'm not a huge fan of coffee and Bailey's, but there's scotch. No tequila in there, huh?
No tequila. Let's see what else.
I'd go for a Christmas margarita. Hey,
you can make anything Christmassy.
yeah.
I don't know if. Hold on. Hold on. No, that wasn't the one. Whatever. I think they. Worst case scenario at a family Christmas function. I like this. Little Jingles has peed or vomited on Grandma's bed.
Oh God.
Or pooed. One or the other. Who do you think that was?
That's Reed.
But the way he told the story was absolutely fantastic.
That's good.
All right. And then the top movies, Christmas Vacation, Elf, Home Alone 2, Die Hard. Which one would you go with?
Christmas Vacation.
Okay. You've never seen Christmas Story, though.
No.
I'm surprised one of the gentlemen went with Home Alone 2 as his first pick instead of Home Alone 1.
Yeah, that's interesting. I mean, they're both good. But I watched Home Alone the other night. If I were to pick, I think I'd pick one first.
Okay. So Dusty, I shouldn't be saying this because
Deaky Sparks said to get my wife a racing sim.
Yeah, I don't think she's going to like that. So right now, team number 1 leads at 37.9%. Team number 3 is close to being relegated. They're at 11.6%.
Yo, relegation.
And then C-Run says, more of a New Year's Eve drink is tequila. Yeah, for sure.
Oh, yeah. Maybe.
That gentleman drafts with his heart. Who's that? Tommy? Justin F. Belgoni says, World Juniors was the best pick of the draft. So interesting.
That's a tradition like no other. Back in the day, it's not. Well, maybe it's just me or whatever. Maybe I was closer to it. But when you had either Canada, Russia, or Canada, U.S. in the first game of the World Juniors on Boxing Day, that was big, dude.
Yeah, that was great.
Or that was New Year's Eve, wasn't it? Or New Year's Day? They usually had one of the big games.
Boxing Day? No.
Boxing Day is it starts.
Yeah.
Right?
Mistress for Christmas was the best pick from Pander's Pancakes. I wonder who had that one. And Home Alone 5 is the best. LOL from Matt Hyman. All right, we got to get to a break here. Preston Hodgkinson is joining us next from the Daily Hive here in Edmonton. We'll continue to tee up the Edmonton Oilers and the Minnesota Wild. We're only at 61 thumbs up, a bit of a slow Thursday here at EST. So let's hammer that. Let's get to 100, over 100 today for the Edmonton Oilers. First win in Minnesota since 2019. Gager, they haven't won there in the last 6. So if you want the Oilers to win, we must hit 100. It is key. Go to EdmontonSportsTalk.com on Twitter. Vote for the best team from today's morning draft with Reed, Eric, Tommy, and Dusty, who was muted for the entirety of the draft due to his voice. So we hope the big guy returns tomorrow and is back to 100%. But up next, more Oilers and Minnesota Wild here on EST Afternoons with Joaquin Gage and Hernan Salas. But here is a sports update with Zach.
We see Travis Dermott on waivers from the Oilers ahead of 97 versus 97, seeing the Oilers roll into Minnesota to play the Wild. And you can tune into the GCL Diesel Oil Stream pregame show with Tom Gazzola live from Boston Pizza Westgate across from West Ed at 5:30 only on EST. And there's 15 games around the NHL, having the Red Wings meet the Flyers, the Preds battle the Stars, while JT Miller makes his return to the Canucks lineup against the Panthers. And Thursday night football action has the Rams 49ers with Lieutenant Eric down at the Century Casino Sports Bar and Lounge on 4 Road for the action. Kickoff goes at 6:15. In basketball, the Raptors take on the Heat, having 3 games around the association. Preston Hodgkinson, Oilers reporter for Daily Hive Edmonton, on the other side of the break. I'm Zachary Kubusch, keeping you up to date.
Get all the latest news and takes on everything Oilers with Dustin Nielsen and Tom Gazzola on the Oil Stream. Live at noon, Monday, Wednesday, and Fridays. Only on EdmontonSportsTalk.com.
Hockey lives at the Canadian Brew House. Every Oilers game day, get $1 off tankards of Molson Canadian and Coors Light. Plus, you can win game tickets and a surf and turf dinner for 2 at the end of the season. Full details at thecanadianbrewhouse.com.
In life, it takes a village. From childhood to your golden years, we all need support. At Capital Care Foundation, we've built that village for our 2,100 seniors. Join us in creating a nurturing environment that feels like home and fosters community connections. Your donation makes a difference. Visit capitalcarefoundation.net today and become a vital part of our village. Because together, we can make every stage of life a shared journey. Be a part of the journey. Support Capital Care Foundation.
Edmonton Sports Talk delivers a mass audience of key, influential customers to your business, all while you associate your company brand with the biggest names, the hottest sports news, and teams from every league around the globe. It's where fans go to get their sports fix and where our partners find the most loyal consumers. Contact us today and see how our team on Edmonton Sports Talk can score the biggest goals for your business. With various advertising options available, email business@edmontonsportstalk.com or head to our website, edmontonsportstalk.com.
.222, welcome back to EST Afternoons. It's Hernan Salas, it's Joaquin Gage, it's Cougar Nation in the house. Coming up at 3 o'clock, Reed Wilkins with Jay Milne from 3 to 5:30. And then Tom Gazzola live from BP's Westgate will take over for the pregame show for the Edmonton Oilers and Minnesota Wild, accompanied by Joaquin Gage and myself. And we'll be back for the postgame show. Nice earlier game than usual, Gagers. So it'll be nice to get home at a reasonable time.
Yeah, it's good.
Just before we close things out tomorrow, Friday, 66 here on the station. So, exciting times for sure. Remember, keep hammering that thumbs up. We're at 69 right now. Let's get to 100, only 31 away, and keep the text coming in. 780-218-9999 or on the Nasty Chat. Continue to help Gager out with gift ideas for his wife, who has a birthday 1 week apart from Christmas. So he's got to do a double gift. So let's see what we can come up with for Gage as we try to help him out here. But let's talk some Edmonton Oilers as we're joined by Preston Hodgkinson, Oilers reporter for the Daily Hive here in Edmonton. Preston, always good to catch up with you. Let's get right to it. Maybe you have the answer. Why can't the Oilers beat the Minnesota Wild? It's been a long time. Only 2 wins in their last 13. They haven't won in Minnesota since 2019, and a lot has happened since 2019, Preston. But what do you make of the Oilers' struggles against this team?
Yeah, good to be here. Thanks for having me on. I really don't know what the kryptonite is that the Minnesota Wild have against the Edmonton Oilers. They've always been a pretty stingy team defensively. I think offensively they haven't always been near the top of the league, and they just have Edmonton's number. I don't really know if I have one complete answer for it. No.
Preston, I just looking at the article that you wrote recently about Connor McDavid moving forward. I don't think the panic button has been hit again, but the one thing I did take from the article is just there hasn't been a lot of discussions yet. And maybe that's kind of the reason why Jeff Jackson came in here in the first place. There's a lot of familiarity with that things. But is this, that kind of caught me a little bit off guard. Is that a little bit of concern? Maybe just they haven't touched upon it, or is this just two parties waiting till July 1st?
Well, yeah, and no, that was a report that Pierre LeBrun had a few days ago. And no, I don't think it's a thing to worry about right now for the Oilers or for Oilers fans. He's not eligible to sign until July 1st. So even if there was contract discussions going on right now, there's no contract that can be signed right now. So it's not delaying anything. And we've seen the same exact situation play out last summer with Leon Draisaitl. He was eligible to sign on July 1st. It took him till September 3rd, and they got it done 8 years. So, yeah, I don't think there should be any concern here. Like I said in the article, Connor McDavid can only play with Leon Draisaitl in one city in the NHL, and that's Edmonton. So I think it gets done.
Preston, just some news today. Travis Dermott hits the waiver wire. He came in, he played, he had a couple good games, and he wasn't overly great or terrible. I'm not going to sit here and say that. He was just fine as the 6'7". But what do you make of him going down, and what do you make of the new guy coming in, Alec? Let me pull up his name here. Alex Regula. Sorry about that, Preston.
Well, yeah, I don't think it should be any surprise to see Travis Dermott go down on waivers here. He's been scratched for, I want to say, the last 7-8 games here. The only reason he was in the lineup before that was because Darnell Nurse was injured and they need an extra guy to be in there. Mm-hmm. He hasn't gotten off to quite a great start in the few games he has played. And, Alec Regula is, I don't know a lot about the guy. Like, his name is familiar with me, but he's a young guy. He's a big body. I think he's coming off some surgery from an injury over the offseason. So I don't expect him to get much ice time with the NHL club to start right away. But once he gets going, I think he fits perfect in that seventh defenseman position. As well, Dermott's a left-hand shot. Mm-hmm. And the Bakersfield Condors only have one left-hand shot right now, and that's Cam Dineen. So I think they wanted to find a way to kind of balance the pairs down in the A. And if Dermott can do that or can clear, he will do that.
Looking at the end of the year here, the month of December, I kind of include the Tampa Bay Lightning in there, but this is kind of as close as you're going to get to a murderer's row of teams. If the Oilers can come out of this next little segment with, I'm looking at playing over 500. Does this mean that they've really established themselves as back to being one of the Stanley Cup favorites if they haven't already?
No, I think you're right that this is a kind of a tough area of the schedule. They got the Minnesota Wild tonight, and we've all heard about the struggles against them. Vegas, they had probably one of the tightest checking games I've seen in recent memory with that 1-0 loss. And then the defending champion Florida Panthers. Like, it's going to be a gauntlet of teams here. And if we look back to last year, it's actually pretty similar in timing. It took the Oilers till about early December to mid-December to start getting on that like insane 16-game winning streak, right? So, I think, of course, if they come out of this with a winning record, it's a positive sign and, kind of shows us the team that we were all expecting to see at the start of the year.
Preston, two guys that take a lot of heat here, Darnell Nurse and Stuart Skinner. They started slow. They've been really good as of late, especially Darnell Nurse. He's playing like the defenseman we saw, maybe 2-3 years ago, and he ended up getting that big deal. And Stuart Skinner, slow starter. He's really turned it around. His save percentage has been amazing the last 5-6 games. What do you make of these two guys as kind of bounce back here, especially for Darnell Nurse? Like I said, and Leon alluded to it post-game that we need to talk about him more in a positive manner, but a guy who struggled mightily in the playoffs and late last season, he's really turned it around this year, hasn't he?
Oh, absolutely. I think he had a bit of a slow start once again, but in the last month and a half or half a month here, he's been playing the best hockey in years in Edmonton here. And I think a lot of that has to do with, I don't know if Cody Ceci was a great fit with him while he was here. They had good results in that first year, but things really started to tail off starting in that second year. And having the ability to put a stabilizing presence like Brett Kulak on that pairing every once in a while, I think has done wonders for him. I've been very impressed with Darnell Nurse. He's a guy that for a while there, you noticed him a bit too much in the play. And now he's in that happy medium where I don't really notice him. And when I do, it's for good things.
We've been talking about this a lot today here, Preston. Is just the rotation of starting goaltenders with the NHL. It's a little bit different than I think what we see on other teams where if there is an established number one and a backup and a number two, the time between games for the number two guy seemed to be after a lengthy period of time. I'm not saying that Calvin Pickard doesn't deserve these starts because I think he's been playing quite well, but are you surprised just after seeing what Stuart Skinner's been able to, looking at his save percentage, say over the last 5 games, that he's not getting the start tonight in Minnesota?
I was a little surprised to see that Skinner wasn't getting that start tonight, just because, like we've already discussed, those struggles against the Minnesota Wild and that kind of desire to put that in the rear view mirror, right? And Pickard, I'm a big fan of. I think he's a decent backup, but I think you can't say he's like a 1B in this league right now. Most of his starts this year have been against non-playoff teams. I think the only start he's had against a bona fide playoff team is the New Jersey Devils, and he let in 3 goals on 16 shots in that game. So it's a small sample size, but still, the Oilers have been limiting his time against these types of teams. So it's a little interesting, but considering the schedule that they have coming up and they want to save Skinner for these games against Vegas, Florida, I can understand it. And it's going to be a huge opportunity for him to kind of shut me up about that playoff narrative, right? Like against the playoff team. So if he comes out and does well, I won't say anything, right?
Yeah, no doubt. I don't think it's, and again, it's not a disrespect to Calvin Pickard. It's
No.
just Stuart Skinner's been playing so well. Preston, eventually this team's going to get Arvidsson back. Evander came back. You might have Noah Philp up here as a regular come the new year and all that. When it's all said and done and the Oilers forward group is completely healthy, is it as simple as Derek Ryan, Corey Perry come out of the lineup? And who else do you see kind of looking over their shoulder right now saying, holy, I really got to pick my game up here?
Yeah, I would think it would be Derek Ryan, Corey Perry. Those are the two obvious guys. I think Derek Ryan more so, just because his impact on the ice this year has been next to nothing I've seen. At least Corey Perry's come out and he's been scoring goals and having a great start, right? So I think his spot in the lineup is more safe. But that being said, he's still a 39-year-old in this league and probably shouldn't play all 82 games. I'm interested to see what the team does with a guy like Kasperi Kapanen. He's been great since they've got him off waivers, right? But like you said, when they start getting healthy, is there going to be a spot for him on the right wing in that bottom six? Same with Connor Brown. I think there's a few guys that might need to pick up the pace and start getting on that score sheet if they want to be regular players on this team.
Preston, great stuff. Thank you for joining us today. It's going to be a fun game. Hopefully the Oilers can snap that ugly losing streak in Minnesota and pick up a win. It'd go a long way for this team who's playing some good hockey right now. Well, Preston, great stuff as always, and enjoy the game tonight, and we'll chat soon.
All right, thanks for having me on.
There you have it. Preston Hodgkinson, Oilers reporter for Daily Hive Edmonton, with some good stuff there. Yeah, I mean, I don't disagree with Kapanen and Brown. Kapanen might... Again, he's playing well, Gager, but they're not going to keep him over Arvidsson. They're not going to keep him over Evander Kane. They're just not. And then they like Connor Brown because he kills penalties, doesn't do much else. He doesn't. Derek Ryan's having a bad season. Let's just call it how it is. He doesn't play a lot either. And I don't expect him to score 10 goals either. I'm fine
that was
with
2 years ago. He scored like 12 goals.
I'm okay with Derek Ryan. I truly am. But I think the realistic approach is here going forward when everybody's healthy, Gager, is that Perry and Derek Ryan won't be in the lineup every night.
No, I think so. And Preston made a good point. I don't think you want a 39-year-old to be playing in all 82. But saying that, he's a former Hart Trophy winner, 50-goal scorer. There's just a set of skills that he possesses that he can still make a difference. And the way that he plays. Part of me is counting the days until like Evander Kane can get back into this lineup and they can have Perry and Kane, that agitating force of guys that just play a certain way to get players on the other team thinking more about those two players than the game actually itself.
Yeah, no, sorry, I didn't want to be disrespectful to Connor Brown, but what I've watched this year, and he started good. I remember the first 2 weeks, I was like, Connor Brown's one of the better Oiler forwards right now when no one was going. He gets around well, Gager, but for me, he's just a guy that can't finish. I know he has 3 goals. He has 8 points in 28 games. He's a bottom 6 player. He's moonlighted in the top 6 as of late. But for me, outside of penalty killing and chipping in once in a while, what else does he do well for you?
You need those timely goals. And in my head, I'm counting like 3 opportunities for him to have glorious chances to score, and they're not happening. And those are key moments in games, right? It's just if he scores 1 or 2 of those goals, I think that not only does that give him some confidence to do something, but we saw what happened last year, right? He just needs to make a difference in key moments in the game when those moments arise. And he did that last year in the playoffs. Like he had some huge moments, right? And maybe that happens again, but you'd just like to see them in some of these really important games. I look at the Vegas game where he could have made a huge difference, right?
Because take the special teams out of it, Corey Perry's been more productive, right?
Oh, yeah. And, well, Corey Perry, when Hyman's out, he's the net front presence, right?
Yeah.
And I can't disagree with him, even though he's playing more fourth line minutes. I think he's the guy that you put there.
Yeah, and he has 8 points too, but he has 5 goals. He plays a lot less, right?
It's amazing.
A lot less. So that's going to be the interesting one. I think Kapanen's the wild card. I think I think he's been good. I don't think he's been great. I think last game he was really good, Gager. He was noticeable, especially in the final 40. But the issue is Cap and all that. But also, I think he really has to stand out for him to keep a spot on this team. With Kane and with Kane and Arvidson's potential return coming in the next 2 months.
Who's this? This is
Kasperi Kapanen.
Kasperi Kapanen. Yeah, he has to do something.
Or do you move a guy like Brown out of the lineup and keep Kapanen in? Because Kapanen can kill penalties.
Yeah.
Because if you're keeping a guy in because he's a good PK guy, and Kapanen comes in and says, "Hey, I can do this too. He's got the speed." Is it enough to stay in the lineup if it's because of the PK?
I just think like with the eventual return of Evander Kane coming back in, I'm sure there, like I said before, I think there'll probably be who knows? There might be a 2-week conditioning stint, maybe not. But the way that he plays, I find him, it'll be hard it's jumping on a treadmill at 12 miles an hour, right? Yeah. Like he's coming in really late to the league. But I just find that his skill set and the way he plays, he'll be able to get up to speed a lot quicker. Arvidsson's interesting too. I mean, he's not the youngest guy. He's missed a lot of time. It's not only the time you miss, it's the level of play of the NHL. Just everyone's getting better and better and better and better, right? So it becomes a lot more difficult. I don't know. I think Arvidsson's going to have he's going to play, I guess, but I think he'll have a tougher time getting up to speed than, say, Evander Kane.
But who knows if he even stays healthy, right? Well, like he's injury prone. We've known this for years, and that was the risk in signing him. And I'm not going to go to the Holloway thing. Like, we need to get over it. He's not here anymore. He's having a great season. I think on the Oilers, he's in a different role.
Holloway got injured a lot too, man.
Yeah, and he's in a different role in Edmonton. He's not in the top 6, and that's just that. So we need to get over it. He's gone. I like this one from Penner's Pancakes. So what is going to happen when the Oilers trade for Taylor Hall at 50% retention?
Oh, stop it.
Gager does not like that move at all. Eh? No? Okay.
No.
All right, guys. Coming up next, we're going to wrap up EST Afternoons here on this Thursday afternoon. Portions of this hour brought to you by the Canadian Brewhouse. NHL lives at the Canadian Brewhouse. Every Oilers game day, get $1 off tankards of Molson Canadian and Coors Light, and you can win game tickets and 2 tickets to a surf and turf dinner at the end of the season. Full details at thecanadianbrewhouse.com. Up next, we'll wrap up EST Afternoons. Get you ready for the Reed Wilkins Show with Jay Milne. This is EST Afternoons on Edmonton Sports Talk, live from the William Huff Studios. Joaquin Gage, Hernan Salas, and here is our deliverer of sports updates, Koob Nation.
Travis Dermott has hit the waiver wire from the Edmonton Oilers as they get set to face Kirill Kaprizov and the Minnesota Wild. Catch Tom Gazzola live at Boston Pizza Westgate for the GCL Diesel Oil Stream pregame show, which airs at 5:30 right here on Edmonton Sports Talk. And with 14 other games on tap, it's the Leafs against the Ducks, seeing Trevor Zegras out for 6 weeks after he underwent surgery to repair his torn meniscus. We also got the Pens Canadiens. Well, the Canucks welcome back JT Miller to their lineup, taking on the Panthers. The NFL sees the Rams 49ers with Lieutenant Eric watching the game at the Century Casino Sports Barn Lounge on Fort Road. Kickoff for that one goes at 6:15. And on the court, the Raps battle the Heat on a 3-game NBA slate. This sports update is brought to you by the Capital Care Foundation. Give the gift of Christmas spirit this year with the Capital Care Foundation. For just $25, you can bring Christmas alive for a senior living in Capital Care Center. Donate now at capitalcarefoundation.net. EST Afternoons wraps up on the other side of the break. I'm Zachary Kubusch for your sports update.
Don't feel like working? Join the Hangout. You never know what you might hear. Weekday mornings 9 to 11 on EdmontonSportsTalk.com.
Celebrating 70 years in the signage industry, William Huff Advertising is the most recognized name in the game. An in-house, one-stop shop for all of your design, print, and installation needs. William Huff provides quality graphic solutions for everyone. Here in our City of Champions and throughout the nation, they are the preferred signage partner entrusted by many of the biggest corporations, pro sports teams, and organizations to bring their identity to life. Recognize the name, get in the game. WilliamHuff.com.
You want the heavy hitters on your team, both on and off the ice. If you've been injured in a car accident, call the heavy hitters of injury law. James H. Brown and Associates, Alberta Injury Lawyers. With over 200 years of combined injury law experience, their precedent-setting lawyers are ready to help. Locally owned and proud Edmonton Oilers fans, James H. Brown and Associates wants to support you with their unrivaled experience, unrivaled results, and unrivaled commitment. When accidents happen, head to jameshbrown.com.
Celebrate the season by creating space for your holidays. Sentinel Storage, affordable and flexible storage solutions at a store near you. Shop Canadian, store Canadian. Try 4 weeks free. Visit sentinelstorage.ca.
.43 EST Afternoons, Edmonton Sports Talk, William Huff Studio, Joaquin Gage, Hernan Salas, Kub Nation in the house. Going to give you a little schedule that's coming up. 3 to 5:30, the brilliant Reed Wilkins with the brilliant J Mill. And at 5:30, the Oil Stream pregame show for Oilers Wild. Tom Gazzola, Joaquin Gage, Hernan Salas will be with you. Should be a fun one. Keep it locked. As well as immediately following the game in Mini, we will be back for the post-game show.
Break it down.
I want to, can you,
No!
Oh, I got it.
Oh, behave.
I love that I have these now.
Go ahead. Make my day.
Let's just play around.
Brother, this guy stinks! Yeah, baby. Yeah.
That's good stuff.
No.
Those are good. Awesome. I didn't know I could use these.
Really?
Yeah. I'm a jabroni, though.
Boo! You suck!
Then I got my little system, too, as well. So what do we have for thumbs up, Gager? Do you know?
61.
What?
I think I'm 60.
No, we're at 74 now.
Oh, okay. I'm 74.
So we're 26 away from 100. We got about 10 minutes. If you haven't hammered the thumbs up, we'd greatly appreciate it. And you're doing it to send some good juju to the Edmonton Oilers so they can snap the ugly losing streak they have in Minnesota. I did like this one that came in from C-Run. I just got to scroll back a bit. Adopt Kub for the holidays and put him to work doing charity and giving your wife a break. Win, 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 win. No?
No.
Love Cleveland's voice. It's hilarious. That comes in from Bronco Nick. X-Ray J, the question is, when does Derek Ryan rest?
Jesus, X-Ray. What do you expect tonight from tonight's game? What do you think is going to happen here? I don't feel you're optimistic. Like you've been pacing around here worried.
Well, how can you be when you look at the record? But you're due, right? Like
yeah.
I remember when Anaheim had a stranglehold on Calgary all those years, and Calgary finally was able to pick up a win. So I think they're due. What I do worry about, though, Gager, they've been so good since the Colorado game because they haven't had a dud since that game.
I know.
So are they due for one? All good teams have them. So and it has nothing to do with. I'd feel the same way if Skinner was in net. I have confidence in both goalies. Both goalies are playing really well. I think the Oilers. There's no excuses. I mean, yeah, you're missing Arvidsson, but that's it.
See, I think it's going to turn out well for the Oilers, and here's why. Things have been going great, like you just said, but the fact that they're going to Minnesota, all they've been hearing about is the record in Minnesota. That kind of bugs you a little bit. And, on the other side of the coin, you have people probably asking the Minnesota Wild, how have you been able to dominate the Edmonton Oilers for so long at home over these past few years. So, one team hearing about how great they've been against a team at home, and the other team that's playing quite well hears about how they suck for the past few years. So I think there might be a little bit of a chip on the shoulder of the Edmonton Oilers because they've been hearing about this probably for the better part of 2 days now.
Yeah, and they're close to getting Brodin and Zuccarello back. They skated today, likely out today, but might play in the next game.
Okay.
Yeah, so that's pretty good.
That's
a team. And it's a team that all four lines play the same way, Gager. That's what you like about them, right? Like, they don't take a shift off. They're playing some really good hockey right now. So that does concern me. Like I said, it's just one of those things when they go to Minnesota, it never turns out for them.
Yeah.
It's very rare. And we were talking about it earlier. We watched that game together, and that was a complete train wreck. And the Oilers scored a lot of goals in that game.
Yeah.
They did. I think they were leading at one point, and then I remember Bouchard had a really bad night that night.
Yeah, that wasn't their best. But no, I have a feeling about tonight.
VR says the answer is never, and DR10 is essential. Bronco Nick says Noah Philp is the fourth line center we need.
His two-way play up to snuff.
I'm gonna look how he's doing in the minors here. He is centering the first line. I'm pretty sure is what I saw.
Yeah,
so which is good. I mean, and he didn't look out of place when he played earlier in the season. So 11 points, 17 games, a +6. I like Noah Philp, and I think eventually he will be the guy to replace Derek Ryan.
Look, he needs to play, man. A year out.
He is 26, though. Gage.
Yeah, but having a year off, that's tough, man. I think he's probably. Do they have his ice time per game on there? I'm sure it's quite high, which is good, right? You want to be playing the legs off this guy.
Yeah, he's playing significant minutes down there, which is great to see. I don't know how the team is doing. Matt Savoy's. I think he's coming along nicely. There's no need to rush these guys.
Yeah, I think there's an issue. They're not scoring as much as they'd like, I think, but
I feel like that's every team in the
probably.
It's because Gage, you're like you get like a lot of your players are up and down, like your best players. It's
like,
tough.
You want to see something funny? Go look at American Hockey League teams' rosters at the end, and you hit the thing on your mouse, the wheel, and you just cycle right through. Like sometimes it's. I think one year on a team we had like 70 guys that go through.
It's like
right?
2022 Edmonton Elks.
Yeah.
So I'll ask you this because you played in both leagues and went up and down, Gager, through the leagues. How demoralizing is it when you're in the minors and your best players keep getting called up?
It does suck a little bit, especially if your team's good, because you're not only trying to get up with the team you're with, but you're showcasing yourself a little bit too, right? Like every game, there's at least 5 or 6 NHL teams watching.
Yeah.
So you're trying to build up your own resume a little bit, but that's not too bad. If that happens, it's disheartening. But what's really, really hurts is when your top draft picks, like your blue chippers, are just terrible, and there's other guys that are playing way better, but they're not getting the ice time, and the first call-up's always the blue chippers. That's demoralizing for your team and certain guys. You have to treat it as a professional and understand it, but it was there were a lot of beers being consumed and and afternoon drinks going with guys and talking about things that, just to get it off your chest and stuff. The American Hockey League is just a meat grinder, man.
Well, that's why I want to say too, like, is there a lot of disgruntled players? Like, let's say there's a blue chipper, but they go with a veteran guy because he's going to play in a fourth line role, PK guy. Do a lot of guys, when they see the call-ups, like, you're happy for your boy, but are you at the same time saying, like, man, that should have been me? Do you get a lot of that?
Yeah. You got guys going, what the hell? And, like, I remember going in and, like, highlights would be on from the night before, and they'd have whatever. They show the game. Maybe guys didn't watch it or didn't know. There wasn't a lot of internet back then, I guess. But you'd see your team that you're on lose. You'd hear a bunch of guys go, "Yeah,
I'm closer.
I'm closer to getting called up. They suck." But no, it's you want to get called up. I remember the funniest thing when one time when I got sent down and I met up with a buddy that I'd played with before. We went to the rink that day, Marty, and we walked in and there was like guys get ready in the main room, and then there's some guys that are getting ready where everyone changes, like because there's just not enough stalls. And one was Fernando Pisani, and he was injured or whatever, and he was getting ready to go out early. And I looked at him. I didn't know who he was, and then my buddy looked at him and goes, "Huh, you still here?" And Fernando kind of went, and I said hi and met him for the first time. But yeah, it's just like there's guys coming and going. You don't know who's who. Like you could basically walk in with a hockey bag, go and probably practice on an American League team. No one would know the difference because it's just a revolving door.
That's too funny, man. That's it's such an interesting dynamic because, like you said, I think everybody down there thinks they deserve to be up. Maybe not everyone. I mean, are guys down there like, no, I want to be down here for the year, play my minutes, and then make the jump? Or is everybody just, no, I want to be in the NHL. I want to be in the NHL.
No, you don't. Yeah. No one wants to.
No one wants to be there.
No. Now, especially when they brought in the veteran rule, right? Because when I was first playing in the American League, there were some lifers down there, right? Like that lived in the city. They signed American League deals. They carved out a really solid career of playing there. One time it was really funny back then too, because it was Bill Ranford, Fred Brathwaite, and myself, and Freddie and I were kind of on the yo-yo, and I don't know why it happened, but 2 times when we switched places, we passed each other in the airport. Like so. You had the first time I got sent down, I was miserable, and I see Freddie in the distance, and you would have thought he was on a conga line. And so he saw me, and then he kind of toned it down, and we kind of just like high-fived, and because we had to get to our flights. And then the next one, I'm happy as punch going up, and he's coming down. I'm like, oh man, yeah. Sorry. So that was kind of funny because that was a long ways. Edmonton to Cape Breton, you had a lot of time to reflect on your life going down to the minors.
That's crazy, and it's a different schedule because in the A you play mostly weekends, right?
Yeah, you're 3 and 3s, right? So you're and just brutal. Like you could be in 3 different cities,
and it's all bus.
All bus. Yeah. All gas, no brakes.
All gas, no brakes.
It was all, and that Sunday game, man, that was just torturous because your gear was basically still wet, getting out there. And
the poor equipment guys.
Just terrible. And that game was usually like 2:00 or 4:00 on the Sunday, and just tons of kids or whatever. It was a family game, and you would usually, for some reason, that other team probably was off for like 2 days too. They were just licking their chops. That first period, you would look as a goalie. The shots were always over 15. And you were just trying to hold the fort.
Yeah.
And hopefully you could stick it out until the third and be close and maybe win it late.
That's crazy. I love those stories. More with Joaquin Gage on the experience of going between the NHL and the AHL. It's cool to hear from someone that kind of lived it. So, and we'll end with this one. Smith, TM14. Niners by 1,000,000 tonight. And let's go. All right, guys, we got to get going here. Reed Wilkins with J-Man are coming up. They'll have a great show for you. They'll recap the draft that went down this morning. They'll be on until 5:30. Then it's the Oil Stream pre-game show with Tom Gazzola live from BP's Westgate. Big thanks to Jose Sanchez covering the Niners from SI, and Preston Hodgkinson, Oilers reporter for the Daily Hive. For Joaquin Gage, Zach Kubusch, I'm Hernan Salas. Thank you for tuning in. Keep the thumbs up coming. Keep the downloads coming. We appreciate all the support. Have a good night. Enjoy the game. Reed Wilkins is up next. Ciao.
Wake up with the Nielsen Show with Dustin Nielsen and Lieutenant Eric. Weekday mornings 6 to 9 on EdmontonSportsTalk.com.